There's nothing old-fashioned, nothing conservative, nothing Neanderthal about this oath. It is simply the law of the land. And it's time members of our House of Representatives mean what they say. We're seeing the federal government's budget growing right now at an unprecedented rate. Ladies and gentlemen, is your budget growing? While 100,000 Oregonians have lost their jobs in the last 12 months, do you know which department, which level of government back in Washington is adding 2 million jobs over the next 4 years? That's the executive branch. Our president is adding 2 million jobs back in Washington while we're losing them here at home. And in February of this year, guess who wrote the following warning in a letter to our president? Quote, "The rapid and easy accumulation of power by White House staff can threaten the constitutional system of checks and balances." Who wrote that warning? Senator Byrd, Robert Byrd from West Virginia, a Democrat, forewarned that. But here in Oregon, guess who has done next to nothing to entice jobs back to our state? Woo! Guess who voted for a stimulus bill that only stimulated our deficit and our children's and grandchildren's debts? Woo! Guess who votes for a huge tax increase while our families struggle paying their mortgages and the rising cost of health care? Woo! Guess who hasn't written one significant or meaningful piece of legislation in 11 years in Congress to benefit Oregon? Woo! Guess who votes for bills he doesn't even read? And get this, guess who votes with Nancy Pelosi 97.2% of the time? Woo! And with Oregonians losing their jobs month after month, I ask you one question. Who do you think should be the next to get their pink slip? Woo! As your congressman, I will go into office knowing that it's your money. History has shown that when people are in control of their own destiny, they overwhelmingly do good things. They start businesses, they educate their children, they give to nonprofit organizations and charities and churches and synagogues. They even help those who are down on their luck, the downtrodden. Instead of relying on the federal government to blow through $780 of pork earlier this year, more reasonable minds would have argued to loan resources to small businesses who make up 90% of the companies in Oregon so that they could in turn invest in new hires, in training their people with marketable and sustainable skills, in new product development, in infrastructure, and other resources and necessities that would lead to sustainable careers and economic growth, instead of the pork that we got that not only creates temporary projects, but eventually leads state and city governments to tax even more so that they can pay for those projects and their maintenance and upkeep. Who's running this government? I'll answer my own question. Who's running this government? Lawyers. Lawyers who don't know how to create jobs, they only know how to constrain jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Constitution was built to limit government and liberate people.